Hey everybody, here's Leliana's song, and before we go on to Denerim, but during this scene, you learn a lot about the personalities of your followers.
I enjoy the nights at camp. The night always seems more peaceful to me, safer. I feel the night grants us a reprieve from the troubles of the day. Silly, isn't it? The darkspawn never sleep, and they lurk in the shadows. I enjoy those nights when we stand guard together, talking to pass the time in those small hours. Well, I talk and you listen mostly. Sometimes I succumb and fall asleep and wake to find you still watchful. And I know you're watching out for me. What I'm trying to say is that I trust you. I'm comfortable around you. I know you'll be there when I need you. You are our leader and my friend, and sometimes I think that maybe we could be more than that. Maker, look at me stumbling over my words like an ill-educated peasant girl. Some bard I am. Really? No one told me. You felt the same way and didn't do me the courtesy of informing me? You made me say all those things. Why couldn't you have said them first? Oh, you... Oh, how very awkward. Well, yes, but don't question me. I am a woman and I reserve the right to be inconsistent. Why am I being such a baby about this? I must be a sight spilling my guts. Well, that settles it then. I was just thinking about what happened to the elves, and I'm reminded of a song sung to me many years ago. It was when my mother died, and this wise elven woman comforted me and told me that we shouldn't fear death or hate it. Death is just another beginning. One day, we must all shed our earthly bodies to allow our spirits to fly free. It's a beautiful sentiment, I think. One that brings peace and hope to the grieving. there something you wanted to talk about? It's nothing. I'm fine. I'm just thinking. I can't get what happened out of my head. I'd been in Lothering for years, and she still thought I was plotting against her. She didn't trust me. Maybe she never did. She loved me when she could use me and control me. And now that she can't, she wants me dead. It hurts to realize that I never really knew her. I knew she was ruthless, but I didn't know how far she could go. She is self-serving, cruel. She uses people, then discards them. But that's how she survives in the life she leads. What if she's right? What if we're the same? I should just have stayed in the Chantry. I could have been wrong about the Maker. I know you doubt me sometimes. Maybe you're right. Maybe I just tell myself he's there to console myself, to know there's someone watching out for me, to know I'm not alone. But I was alone and desperate when I fled to Ferelden. I went to the only place I knew would take me. I forgot my life as a bard while I was in the cloister. I felt safe. I didn't have to watch my back all the time. That's what made Marjolaine the person she is, don't you see? It ruined her. It will ruin me too. It's already happened. When we killed her, I enjoyed it. Seeing her dead gave me satisfaction. But that is no reason to rejoice over her death. That is what she would do. I don't want that. What we're doing, what we've done, hunted men down, killed them. Part of me loves it. It invigorates me, and this scares me. I feel myself slipping. How can you be so sure? That is true. I can always trust you to show me things from a different perspective. I would like to be alone for now. I have many things to consider. Thank you for listening to me.
And that is, I have to say, one of the most profound things I've seen in a game. Honestly, evil doesn't worry about not being good. That I've actually used that before. There's so much truth in that. That's wow.
Yes.
Really cool. All right, so there was her song, and that's kind of a I guess you say a famous scene in camp there. At least as far as Leliana is concerned. Thought I would include that. No, I've included a lot of the dialogue. Well, I feel I'd be kind of remiss if I didn't, you know. So I'll throw that in there. And now I can get on to killing things, you know, the important stuff, right? So I'd like to make a note that, you know, her saying, hey, you know, I felt good about seeing, I believe this is something to do with the circle here, too, by the way. Something we found in the circle. Left from a mage, and of course we find this abomination, and, you know, because that's what happens. But he's a boss-level abomination, you'll notice. Anyway, she says, you know, she actually enjoyed seeing Marjolaine dead, and, you know, honestly, a society where you're not allowed to punish evildoers not only gives evildoers an eventual free reign to essentially do what they want to do, basically unchecked. And I don't believe prison is punishment, and I don't believe there's rehabilitation either. That experiment's over, didn't work. Give that up and go back to letting the bad guys know that they can't rape and serial kill and pillage and plunder and child molest and do all that as they want to. Their reward will be, you know, to, you know, be supported for the rest of their lives. 3 hots and a cot, which some of our soldiers don't even get. You know, that'll be the reward for their evil deeds.
Get your horses off Ben Talman's land. We won't bend needle again.
Loghain is the regent. He demands you.
We're not Orlesian lickspittles. We owe no man our allegiance. Leave!
Take their lands by force, men. Regent's orders.
And speaking of dealing with evildoers, you know, sometimes there is only a solution. You say, well, not all people are bad. No, but the ones that are make themselves pretty evident, you know? And no one should have to live their life looking over their shoulder, wondering what the next guy's going to do to them for absolutely no reason. You know, in a society that fosters that type of behavior by saying if you do the most horrible bestial things that you can possibly think of, nothing's really going to happen to you. If that's the message you send, then that's what people are going to do. Because you're going to have assholes that will rise up and take advantage of that license they have to do these things. And, yeah, well, you know, our whole society's built on the opposite, so that's not going to happen. But that's why things are the way they are today, also. Yeah, anyway. But I think it's interesting how Leliana, in that whole scene, what I got from it. Anyway, this is my personal take. I didn't mean to talk to Morgan there. I was going to see if this guy had anything to say. This is one of the few loyal soldiers trying to keep Logain's forces from, you know, doing all the Darkspawn's work before the Darkspawn even get here type of thing. I saw Leliana, she's like semi-emotional, I guess you could say, and she'll even state as such. But she'll react in the moment with strong conviction, you know, because of her beliefs, her faiths, or whatever. But then turn around, and once the moment has passed, and you know, I guess the thrill of the moment has worn off, she'll second guess herself, even if she's right, you know, or even if she thought she was right, or even if her thoughts were, you know, for the right reason, even if she had the right motives, she'll question them later. That seems pretty apparent. And so you know, we reassured her there, and hopefully that'll help. You know, firm up her faith a little bit, do her thing. We saw Stan remorse and regret on his face, and here he is from where he's from. What he did to those farmers on behalf of his sword, by law, he probably had some right among the Qunari. You know, it was understandable type of thing, or whatever, or it wouldn't be considered necessarily a crime. It would be some act based on how Qunari are that would be understandable or something. Well, here, you know, he's not. But then, on the flip side of that, I'm kind of taking kind of a new stance on this, is where he's from, he's essentially here as an act of war. He's like a scout, all right? And so keeping that in mind, I'm not going to say he can just get away with murder, which he essentially has, but it's something that occurs during an act of war. Well, I mean, it's each man to his own. If you commit an atrocious murder during war, right, that wouldn't be an act of war to defend your country, so that would be on you. Wouldn't really necessarily relate to the war you're in, but that could be a crime that you commit, and in your own heart, you know different. I mean, you know exactly what you did. Okay. Oh, by the way, this battle right here. This is almost as bad, or it can go badly as quickly as that fight with Marjolaine for Leliana. This is pretty ridiculous. I'm getting a lot of lag here too for some reason. But anyway, so I see him having a lot of remorse and regret, which he probably wouldn't have at home. So I'm thinking that, you know, here being in Ferelden and being around us, you know, he's starting to see things a little differently. And he's feeling some feelings that he's not accustomed to. This isn't something he would have experienced at home. You know, what's a few villagers? You dropped your sword. That's much more important. I guess among the Qunari that might be legit, but you know, not here. It doesn't fly like that. But anyway. So this heartwarming song that Leliana's singing, he's thinking, then he gets a chance to reflect for himself. And I think he's experiencing some things that he's not accustomed to. I mean, he's obviously changed his view, or had his eyes open to some things that the Qun never brought to his attention since he's been here with us, you know, in our conversations with him. So why I really kind of like to befriend him, is to see the change there. And I'm not feeling so bad about it, because I was feeling bad about not killing them in the first place, for killing a bunch of innocents, you know? But then, like I say, considering he's here as essentially in a stance of an act of war, right, that puts kind of a new light on it, and we see that, like Alistair will say himself, you know, that other than that horrible act that he committed against those farmers, oh wow, I'm just like barely getting away with this, right? That's what you call down to the wire right there. Sweet. But, even Alistair will say he seems otherwise so wise, you know, and you know, down to earth, and you know, then to do this, it just doesn't quite make sense. And if it doesn't make sense, then look at it, you know, look at the reason.
I ain't. Thanks.
I ain't sticking around to see how this turns out.
Okay, so we need to run around here collecting these bodies and then dumping them off in the well because, you know, that's our good deed for the day. Yeah, you know, don't question that. I reserve the right to be, to have a double standard here. Run around taking care of criminals. It's for the XP, man. It's for the XP. The gold and the XP. But, all right, and then let's see. Even with the dog, you know, the dog just kind of chilling and just being cool because, you know, that's how dogs are. They're just cool. And then Morgan taking none of these human sensitivities seriously. You know, oh, you squishy, mushy people, you know, it just turns her stomach. She doesn't want to have any part of that. Although somewhere down deep inside, she probably has her own sense of attachments, you know, her own loyalties, her own, you know, emotions and things that she would deem important. She's thick-skinned, you know. She's kind of hard-hearted a little bit.
Break-in at the Nord Noble Tavern, and for some odd reason, no one feels too sorry for that milk cow, Lady Sophie. Ha! You interested in more? I'm following up a lead in the Palace District. I know you can't get in now, but you never know. If it all works out, it'll make you a legend.
I do not remember exactly what's required to unlock the next burglary.
If it all...
Yeah, it is. I'm not going to get anything. Okay, I'm going to have to maybe go do another main quest or something. Go do something and come back. I'll check in with him every once in a while, and hopefully he'll give us another... It actually opens up a map marker, a whole other thing to do, if I remember right. And there's, of course, loot involved and lots more XP and yada, yada, yada. But, all right, we'll leave him be for the time being. And then, let's see, who else in the camp? And Alistair's just, you know, just sitting there listening. He's just cool. Let's see what these silver bars are worth.
You do me great honor.
So we paid, what, 4 sovereigns to get the tip, all right, to basically spawn or activate the thing to go into the warehouse and kill all those guys and get these things. And let's see where they at. There they are. They're worth 3 apiece, so that's 18. So that's a 14 gold profit. Not bad. Not bad at all. Alright, so definitely worth doing with him. I don't remember what you get for the next one. Maybe a unique item or something. I really don't remember. I don't know. If you can go and kill a bunch of people and get a bunch of XP, I mean, it's worth it in and of itself. Heal up everybody's bruises. Be getting to the point pretty soon here where a lot of that won't be the case. We need to get Alistair a few more tactic slots so he can draw a little more aggro. He needs to, you know, be able to taunt and do things a bit more. I'd rather him use the fewer abilities he has more often than do a whole bunch of different stuff. Essentially, just draw the hate and keep it, you know, and then the mages keep you on your feet. And that's a running theme through all the Dragon Age games. Get your tank and have him draw all the hate. Keep the hate off your mages, because see what happens when your mages go down. Well, no one can heal the tank. Tank eventually dies. Everyone looks at you. And, of course, the result is you die, you know? That seems to be the formula for disaster, so, anyway. Alright, so we've gotten, some tips to go solve crimes, from the Chanter's board, and, oh, who knows, the mages collected Blackstone regularly. We've picked up all the quests that we can, and see, it's unlocked all these markers here. And so we'll travel around a bit, and see if we can't, find some people to bother. Find some problems to solve, so to speak. You know, here's the local whorehouse, and one of our hooded couriers. We have to find these guys, and they're hidden everywhere.
Tell your captain that
one of
our
those guys
deal
is
is
here,
now
so.
ironclad.
Seems like there's 1 or 2 more of those guys hidden in the back streets, the back alleys that we'll have to go explore. I don't think I have the ideal group here for funny dialogue, but we'll see.
She's too good.
Isabella.
Be off with you
Okay.
now, and be glad I only took 3
a Dragon Age 2 fan. I love Isabella. My romance option in Dragon Age 2, as a matter of
Grey
fact.
Warden. And I had heard that all the Ferelden Wardens were killed or exiled from this place. Oh, don't look so surprised. I've seen many of your kind in my journeys, and there is always something odd about you. But, Grey Warden or no, it is refreshing to see another woman who answers to no one. Now, what can I do for you, my dear? I assume you saw that little drama, and none of these poor brutes has ever proven a match for me. They are too clumsy and predictable. I fight with quickness and wit, rather than with brute force and strength. I call myself a duelist because I honed my skills in duels with warriors I encountered over the years. An unusual request, coming from a fearsome slayer of Darkspawn. I am flattered that you wish to learn from me, sweet thing. It will take you years of practice to achieve true mastery of the style, but I can teach you the basics. I do, however, wish to get to know my potential student better, so we shall call for a drink, and you will honor me with a game. Have you ever played Wicked Grace? It is easy to learn, but difficult to master. You must watch your opponent's moves as carefully as your own. Before we start, the cards must be shuffled. Shall I, or would you like to? Good. Go ahead, then. Are you done yet? 5 cards each to start with, and may the cleverest player win. Ah, a wonderful card for me. You certainly have quick reflexes. I'm quite impressed. And as for me cheating, well, the game does not matter. I just wanted to see if you could outwit me. You have proven yourself quick and resourceful, and I would be honored to pass my skills on to you. Come, we will need some space for this.
Okay, and this would unlock the duelist skill, just throwing this in there. I didn't necessarily need to go through that, but if I didn't have it, or if you don't have it, if you're playing through, playing along, then that's how you get that.
Yes.
I believe there's another really high attribute you can have that you can catch your team. Maybe cunning, probably cunning. I don't know.
Casimir. I'm first mate on Captain Isabella's ship. More than this, you do not need to know. You are surprised to see another strong woman like yourself. Isabella commands the crew on the Siren's Call. She is a remarkable woman, and as you saw, quite formidable. She calls herself a duelist. But you cannot pay me enough to duel her. I'm not so stupid as those two. Did you not see? They wanted money back. Some of them never learn. If Isabella consents to play a game with you, it's an honor. You do not ask for compensation if you lose. Isabella commands the crew on the Siren's Call. She calls herself a duelist. But you cannot pay... You should ask Isabella. I do not know how to explain.
Alright. Okay, now we could hire a hooker of various
unable to do that.
varieties, I guess you could say. all kinds of things available here. They cater to everyone's taste, but I'm not personally going to get into that. I'm already in a relationship with Leliana. Not going to piss her off. Just from a purely role-playing aspect there. Don't need to be doing that. So I will refrain refrain from the freaky stuff.
I could have handled it.
That wasn't so bad.
Sure you could have, buddy.
I need to go hide somewhere.
You go do that.
I am unable to do that.
Another Grey Warden supporter.
Not just a supporter, Peyton. That's a Grey Warden. She's the one Arl Howe is looking for.
Our trap landed a Warden? You've got one chance to surrender. For what it's worth, I believe you. Not that I particularly care. We're not common guards, Warden. We're Howe's elite. Shavra, Tenant, and Jarvie, let's kill ourselves a Warden.
Any thoughts that Howe was doing this without Loghain? This can settle any of those doubts. No, this is by Loghain's command. It's using Howe's men. Because, basically, Loghain's probably eventually going to run out of Fereldans he can use to kill off other Fereldans, because he's killing off all the Fereldans for the Darkspawn. Right, so, anyway. Howe's men, but Loghain doing this. Alright, now had the heat been on me, that Mark of Death, I'd have been taking just extra damage. Yeah, it had been over, so good thing to have a tank around.
It is done.
Turn around and walk, stranger. This affair is for White Falcons only. We're the toughest, meanest, and loudest mercenary band from the Free Marches. If you haven't heard of us yet, you will soon. Now get out. Get a load of this guard. You're telling us what to do? You have a point there. Man, let's clear out. Don't want to get on Loghain's bad side, do we?
Tell Kylon I owe him one.
No, of course you don't.
Welcome to the Pearl. I'm Sanga, the proprietor. Have a seat, get comfortable, and tell me what you need. Every one of my people here is a skilled craftsman, and don't let anyone tell you different. You'll have to go one at a time, I'm afraid. Our rooms aren't quite big enough to share between so many. But we can discuss that in a moment. So what would you like me to show you? The men or the women? Or some of both, if you prefer. Come again.
Okay, and I think that animals can even be involved if that's your thing or something. But yeah, you know, I'm not going there with it. Yeah, you just keep your fun time. I'll just go on about my business. But I believe there's a comment in Dragon Age 2 in the dialogue somewhere, and your hawk basically says, you know, I don't do anything involving children or animals, and I wonder if it's not a reference to this right here.
I was hoping I'd find you. I heard about the Pearl. I don't know how, but you got them to leave with no fuss at all. The Pearl's workers will...
Nobody gives orders to my men but me. A little lesson in respect is in order.
I see. Don't bother sparing these louts. Things are about to get messy.
I sense something wrong.
Yeah, this is basically a rehashed map. We'll see this section of map a few times, and these are just what they call the back alleys. And it's a nice spot for random ambushes to take place, right? Now these longbowmen, I don't know if it's just because they're better armored or whatever, but they're a lot stouter than your average archer. Apparently this guy's much more worried about Alistair over there than he is about me. That's a good thing. Boom.
And people actually voluntarily attack you. Are they just stupid? Here's the payment I promised. I might have more work if you're interested. But I'm heading back to the market district. Back alleys are just too dangerous for me.
Okay, well, we can check with him later. So that opens up options for more gold. Sometimes it's good to be thorough with these little, seemingly random, meaningless side quests. That's a unique weapon. And if you didn't have, what's it called, Vesial, or whatever, that special axe that Bodan sells for 3 million gold back at camp, that would probably be one of the next best axes right there. Definitely good for rogue, actually, you know, with its backstab and all that. Or actually, honestly, more properly, a two-handed, a dual-wielding warrior. It would be, ideal for that. Get extra critical and stuff like that. Alright, no more loot, doesn't look like. So what we'll do is the next one we'll go to all these back alleys and we'll see what crimes we can solve. Being the ideal people we are. I think we may even take Zevran with us a little bit on this. There may be something that interests him dealing with these assassins and criminals and so on and so forth. Thanks for watching. You want to subscribe? Click that button over my head. For all my videos, click the box on the left, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.